better already.
It's not unusual to see beautiful cars at Nick's garage. But perhaps the most beautiful of them all is his own 1970 Challenger. He built the car up from a pile of rusty pieces into what you see today. But he's still not quite happy with the way it performs.
Welcome to Nick's garage. And it's after hours, and I finally wanted to get working on my car. I've just taken it out of storage not long ago, and this is my dream car I built a couple of years ago. And I took it out of the movie Vanishing Point. For all new people on board or never heard of the movie Vanishing Point by Barry Newman, who drove a 1970 Dodge Challenger, Alpine white, 4-speed car through the desert from Colorado to San Francisco. You know, I've seen that movie a long time ago, and I've always had the love of this car. So years and years later, I found one as a basket case when I first bought it, and it was a green Challenger. It was an original 440 car, matching number also, 4-speed car with a Dana 60. And this thing is the real thing. It's also a U code, the way it came from the factory. The only changes I did, I went from F8 green to Alpine white. That's the only change I did. But besides that, this is my dream machine. They had 4 of these cars when they made the film, and after when the film was done, you know, when they brought them back to Chrysler, they scrapped all 4 units. And to do the real exact car they used was a U-Code 440 Magnum 4-speed car, which is right here, the real thing. And when I found this car in pieces up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and you know me, I went out there and I bought it. And here she is today, a couple of years later. I put it all together, I restored the whole thing, and here it is.
Nick is thrilled to have finally finished his own dream car. But there's one thing about the Challenger that still bothers him.
And I always had a little issue with a stumbling problem. And I know it is a carburetor issue. And I've been at it for a while to say, you know what, I gotta put it on one day. So I finally got the chance. I'm gonna stay tonight and I wanna put this carburetor on. I've got it now for a while. I got the tag for it, which I'm gonna install on the carburetor right now. Remove the 71 unit, put on the 4-barrel, and I'm debating if I'm gonna put the choke on it. But you know what, let's get started and we'll take it from there. So I'm just gonna do it in front of my viewers here, just to show you guys what it takes to replace a carburetor. And the best part of it is, I got the original one that I bought from a friend of mine out in Ontario. He got me the casting. It's a 1970 4-speed 440 Magnum carburetor that belongs to a 70 Challenger Magnum 440. I've got the correct number. And just to show you how picky I get sometimes, and here we are. If you guys would take a look at here, 4737S is the carburetor made for this. This tag is made for this carburetor. And if you look here, we have the exact numbers. So this red tag belongs to this carburetor on a 4-speed car. And this is the carburetor I bought with the ear right here was broken off. So we had Dan, my welder, weld it back in. Then I sent out the carburetor to Donnie Oakey in Cortes, Ontario to rebuild it for me and detail it. And now I've got it here. I've got my choke, I got my tag. I am ready for installation. I couldn't wait to do this. Been waiting for a while to replace my carburetor. You know, I drive this car, it runs beautiful except for that stumble every time I accelerate. And I just said, you know what, I'm not gonna fix the carburetor and have it stumble. I'm gonna wait until I put my original piece back on. And hopefully next year, I'll get the original matching motor put together and put it beside the car. Not install it, put it beside the car as a display. And hopefully have it ready for car level next year. Because you know, this engine runs beautiful. I like to kick it, beat it. You know, if it breaks, that's not matching number. The matching motor is in the back. So when I finish that motor, building it in front of on camera, because I want to show you viewers that I promised you guys that I will put it together on camera from A to Z, from machine shop to balancing and all. Put it together, then assemble it, put it on the dyno, and then put it right beside here on an engine stand beside my car. Will I install it? No, because I like to drive it hard, so I'm not gonna drive the original motor. I'm gonna use this 440. This is my test motor, and I love this 440, and you know what? Why not keep it? All right, let's take it out. Here we go. I believe this is a 1971 because of this vent tube right here. So this is a 440 1971 carburetor, which I have no interest right now because my car is a 70 unit. So let's start by removing the fuel line. Take a rag. So it's a single fuel in. I gotta remove my PCV valve, like so. The spring. That goes over here. Accelerator pedal. I hope this carburetor works well. After all, I had it sitting in my office for quite a few months. I guess it should work. I don't see why it should not. I gotta remove the lever for the cable, accelerator cable, from one carb to another, because it doesn't come with a carburetor. Here we even have the stovepipe, but if you guys look closely, I don't have the doors closed. I have them wide open because, you know, you want them closed only for the winter. But since this car is not driven in the winter, I did not connect the vacuum hose inside the onto the engine. So without connecting them, they stay wide open, and that's what I want them to do. Stay wide open for the summertime only. Since I don't drive them in the winter, don't need to worry about it. Now we put the throttle cable on this one, like so. There we go, put the throttle cable. Now let's put on our tag since I'm here. I believe it goes right over here. You know, you try to make it as nice as possible. You know, it's my personal car. So, you know, I like to put some detail once in a while in it. Some people don't care, some people do. Then it goes on like so. And then you just bend it down lightly. There we go. Let's take off this carburetor now. Take off the PCV valve connection. Now we're going to remove the vacuum advance on the distributor, like so. Okay. We got the accelerator pedal off, fuel line is off, and now we just got the 4 main bolts. That's all there is. Okay, let's get our little ratchet. And for you people that are into detailing, these are the genuine bolts that go onto these carburetors. They're like a grade 5, 3 strobes on it, letter H. That's a genuine bolt, 5/16", 1 inch long. Can't go wrong with that. the first time I seen that movie Vanishing Point, was, I believe it was in the late 70s, early 80s. I remember I was flicking on my TV and I was watching this movie with a white Challenger. And I go, wait a minute, I used to own a Challenger back in 1974, 75, a 1970 Challenger 333 Magnum. And then years later, after I sold the car, I traded in, my brother and I, so we could buy a 71 Hemi Cuda. And years later, I watched this movie, Vanishing Point, with Barry Newman, Kawasaki, 70 Challenger. And I was telling my brother, I just had the same car and I sold it. And now I watch this movie, I wish I had it back. And here we are years and years later, I built my dream car, and here it is. But I wanted the exact same thing right from the factory with the U-Code 4-speed. And there she is. You can't get closer than that. There we go. Look at the difference. This looked as good as that when I first had it on there. I want to make sure this gasket is good. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we use the same base gasket, it looks pretty good. Let's put the carburetor back on. Oh, wait a minute, we have no choke. Here's the choke I was talking about, right here. I've got it blocked off, but you know what? I'm gonna install it. Here we go. Since I've got it, which is an automatic choke, it works off a thermostat, and this needs heat through the intake manifold to heat up and go on. But I've got something in there that the heat is blocked off. And you know, you need the heat to be opened up to pass the heat to warm up the choke. But you know, since I don't drive it in the winter, I'm not crazy about it. But as a look-wise, I'd like to have it on. So let's put it on. Here we go. Intake gasket is blocking it off inside. If I were to take this off, you would see it, but I'm not gonna take it off. I'm gonna take my chances. Maybe it makes enough heat as it is. So I'll leave it. We're gonna adjust the choke to be wide open, even with the thermostat there. All right, so here's the bolts. I gotta clean these bolts. They're not supposed to be orange. Anyways, I gotta make them black. They're not the original bolts. Oh, they're not here. That's funny. Where did they go? Maybe I'll just clean them and put them back on for now. They're not supposed to be painted because the choke was installed after the paint job on the engine at the assembly plant. I know I've got two genuine bolts, but I'll put them on another time. But for now, let me just take off the paint. Okay, it's all good. Let's go. Let's get them on. Take off the clip, like so. All right. The reason I'm putting it on, I want it to look more detailed. So, here we go. Okay, let me tighten it in place right now. I have the heat passage that goes through the cylinder heads, but then again, you need a heat raiser valve to shut, close the exhaust, pass it through the cylinder head, pass it through the intake manifold, heat up the choke, heat up the intake manifold, so that you can have a better evaporation when the gas is heated up. It has a better evaporation. So when it's cold, the engine would stumble. So that is the reason we have it open from the factory. But in this case, I don't drive in cold days, I don't drive in winter, so I could afford to keep it shut. So for that reason, I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I'm just gonna put the choke on just to look good. It's like I don't wanna have a missing link to it. I'll leave it on, I'll tie it open because I don't need it. We're not driving in the winter. And let's get it started and see how it goes. There's nothing like putting something together as original. Isn't this beautiful? You know, you can eliminate one-way stumbling problems by installing fuel injection. But you know what? This is a genuine car. I'm not gonna go that way. You know, fuel injection works pretty good. It's not bad. But for my reason here, as it is, I'm gonna keep it with the carburetor. After all, it is matching numbers. I got the original carburetor. I'm staying with it. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? Okay, let's just hope it performs well. I hope so. Okay, let me tie it down. Where's the ratchet? There it is. I just hope it doesn't stumble, because every time I was driving this car and I always accelerated, you notice it always stumbled. I had to ride the clutch to get it going. So I hope it doesn't do so when I finish with the job here installing the carburetor. And eventually, of course, we're gonna take it for a drive and see how it goes, which is the most important thing for me and for my viewers. Okay, let's connect our vacuum connections. Let me put my clip to the choke rod, like so. Right over here. There we go. So see now the choke's gonna close. Let's put our fuel line. There we go. Let me just tighten that up in place right now. You can see all the details that Donnie Oki has gone through with her carburetor, which I love what he's done. And you want a perfectionist, I think he's great for that, let me tell you. Okay, the fuel line is on. Let's connect our vacuum connections. Okay, we've got the vacuum for the distributor, vacuum advanced. Now let's connect our PCV valve, like so. Okay. Okay. Let's put our accelerator cable on, like so. This goes on over here. It's already adjusted for full throttle before, so I'm sure it's in the right place. Because actually I'm using the same style of carburetor, so that's not needed. There we go, so we got that. Carburetor in, fuel line on, we got the tag on. Okay, I think we got everything in place. So let's get it started, warm it up. We'll see if it needs any carburetor adjustment. And of course the choke's not gonna open because we don't have a heat passage going through the intake manifold. And I'm sure Max is not gonna be happy with that. But Max, I understand, don't worry. I understand, but this is not driven in cold days, and if I do, I'll let it warm up before I drive off with it. So I know you guys do not know who Max is. I'm not gonna say who he is. He's the type of guy who works factory 100%. He's always been telling me to connect the heat passage. This is the way you're gonna get your car running. But anyways, you guys, it doesn't matter. It's just someone that bugs me to open up the heat passage every time I build an engine. But in this case, I won't, because it's my car. I don't drive in cold weather. So let me just try it this way, okay? All right, let's get going. All right, I think I'm ready. Okay, so there we have it. We just installed the carburetor. Got it on, I bolted it in place, I got everything connected. Now let's get it started. Okay, then I'm gonna take it for a drive. Let's see if it starts first of all. Let's see if it idles, who knows? I've never tried this carburetor. Here we go. We've never added fuel to this carburetor. Okay, here we go. You know, I'm gonna have to crank for a while to fill up the carburetor with fuel because it's just being rebuilt, and give it a few seconds, it'll start. Sounds better already. Sounds better already. Sounds good. Okay, let's warm it up. Give it a few minutes and see how it goes. Okay, we'll give it a few minutes, warm it up. It feels good to work on your own car. You know, like a lot of people say, you work on so many people's cars, but do you have time for your own car? In many cases, no, because you know, I put a lot of time into my shop, weekends, night times, after hours, call it whenever you wish. It's after hours, it's a beautiful day, I've got the carburetor, so I said, you know what, here's my chance, let me put it on. And here we have it. And I can't wait to drive it. So let's warm it up, we'll take it for a drive. We'll see what you viewers will think about it. I think this is genuine. No? Let me try this. No fuel leaks, that's good. No, it's still cool. I need to get it operating temperatures at least 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And then from there, we're going to do the air-fuel ratio mixture. I'm going to go by ear. I'm pretty good with it. And then after that, we'll take it for a ride. You know, we got the choke pull-off that opens up the choke door right here, which is right here. This is called a choke pull-off. It's opening up the choke door, but I want to see if it's got any heat to warm up the thermostat on the automatic choke. So I'm going to shut it off, and I want to see if the door is not shut. Here we go. Okay, let's take a look. See what I mean? You need heat to keep this door wide open. See? It's still springing towards the cold side because it's telling you I need to warm up, but the heat pass is blocked off. But I'm gonna have to tie it open so I can do my testing. After all, you know, when you're on full throttle, there's no vacuum. The choke pull-off will let go of the choke, and then the door's gonna shut on me while we're driving on full throttle. So in this case, I'm gonna put a little tab for now, tie it open so I can drive it the way I want. So I've got everything adjusted, got no fuel leaks. Sounds good. I've got everything connected. Okay, let's put my air cleaner on. Check this out, stovepipe. This is a winterized thing. But like I said earlier, these doors are shut. So they're not taking any hot air from the exhaust manifold. They're just taking cold air from the snorkel underneath the hood. Like so, and now, let's get the air cleaner. Pipe on the other side. go. Okay, let's put the top lid. Breather's in place. Check this out. Here's the finishing touch. 440 Magnum. Not a 6-pack, not a 6-barrel, but 4 barrels. And I love it just the same. Okay. All right, let's take it for a ride, which is my favorite part. Now, let's take it for a drive. We take off the fender covers. Everything's in place. And it better not stumble like it used to. It better go good. After all, if there's anything you can, and there's anything you dislike, is a car that stumbles with a carburetor. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's take it for a ride. Yeah, just listen to that buzzer, eh? The key's in it, you open the door, buzzer off. On and off. Handbrake off. I gotta fix that squeaky pedal. You know what? That's the next thing I'm gonna do when I get back in a minute. Okay, before I kick it, I'll just drive it like a normal person. Wow. No stumble there. I think I'm gonna go and lubricate that brake pedal. I'm fed up with it. I know some of you viewers are telling me, Nick, when are you gonna lubricate that pedal? I'll do it the moment I get it back in the shop. Here we go. My God, finally. I finally got it rolling perfect. Wow. Finally. Idle's good. Oh yeah, this carburetor's staying on for sure. Yes, I finally got it going. Finally, I should have changed it a long time ago. You know, I've had it sitting in my office for a while. Look at this, no more stumble. You cruise it, you beat it, kick it, perfect. Perfect, here we go. Let it just roll off, give a slight gas. Look at this. Finally, I've got the stumble out of the way. You know, I should have put this carburetor on a long time ago. Man, I'd be driving it, riding the clutch so it doesn't stumble. And here it is. And here it is. I've got the original carburetor. I never installed it. I finally got a chance tonight to do it. I've got it on. And you know what? I want to keep driving it. Yes. Okay, we had a little wheel hop there. Doesn't matter. I don't mind. I don't care about the wheel hop. All I care is that it doesn't stumble on me, which I just love it. Beautiful, just beautiful. You know what? Now I'm happy. Now I can say I got the perfect car. Once I lubricate that brake pedal. It finally drives like a new car. It finally drives like a new car. And right now, the only thing left for this car is to fix that squeaky brake pedal, which I'm going to attack it right now. So let's take it back in the shop, get it done, and I'll try it one more time. Listen to the buzzer. Take out the key, no buzzer. Doors open, keys in. It's a reminder, key reminder. Take your keys out. Here we go, nice. Shut the door, buzzer off. Okay, so let's go fix that brake pedal. And after that, I've got a brand new car. Wow, now I love it. I think I got it. So for you guys, man, I hope I don't wear out those tires too soon. All I know is, oh, that brake pedal came back again. God, I'm gonna fix that squeak. Now that I replaced the carburetor, it's a pleasure to drive it. I should have done it a lot earlier. Anyways, it is what it is. I got it going. And now, I just got to fix that squeaky pedal. It just seems to be coming back. I'll let the oil work into it, and look, now it's not doing it. Okay, so you know what? There you have it. I just love it. You know, I also wanted to say something special about this car is that I've been after it for a long time. I have a lot of viewers that send me pictures of Kawasaki cars, this and that. But I wanted to say one thing, you guys. You know, everybody has a dream with their vanishing point cars. I've seen them all from a lot of viewers. But you know what, you guys? I gotta give it all to you guys. Hats off to you that you guys build these cars just like myself. You buy a car you've been looking for many, many years to build a dream car. And the time came that you found it. And of course, you're not gonna find it as a turnkey car. I found it the way I wanted it, in pieces. Why? Because I wanted to build it from scratch. That's who I am. I build these cars from scratch. And I spent a whole year putting this car together. You know, you get your hands dirty, you run around, you make phone calls, run for parts, get people to help you, doing this, doing that, getting tired, and doing all that. And then this is the accomplishments right here. Yes, I spent many hours, many nights, many weekends working on it. And here she is. Okay, so it costed a few dollars. After all, it is my dream car. And now it's great to have some time with it and enjoy it. And I have to admit that I've been beating it, and beating it. And you know, I have to admit, it never let me down. Okay, so we have a little wheel hop. Who cares? But after all, I've never adjusted the clutch. I've never done anything. The only thing I've done is replace the carburetor. And now I just can't wait to drive it to the next show. So you guys, I'll take it for one more spin. Maybe I might push, maybe I won't. I'll just roll out and then I'll floor it. Then I'll shift it and then I'll come back. Okay, you guys? Stay tuned. What a beautiful night. Let's go. Yes. Look at that. I think I over rev it, but it doesn't matter. I think this motor can take it. I've got good connector rods, I've got valve springs. After all, it's taken so much beating on the dyno, over 100 tests on the dynamometer, and this is what we got. You know what's the best part about building a dream car? That you drive it anywhere you want and it never breaks down. And so far I've been lucky. I've got a great car here, never let me down, and I just love it. And all I want to do is just drive it. And check it out. It still maintained its original idle. She sounds great. Wow, all that RPM. I mean, I know I've over revved it above 6 grand. I'm sure I did. I've done it many times before. That's okay, it's a test motor. After all, that's what I'm building for. And there you have it. And you guys, thank you for staying tuned with us for the Kawasaki Dream Car. Thank you. I help a lot of people build their engines and their cars. So you guys help me build my channel by subscribing. And thank you very much. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.